Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain. Alright, so in this video here, we are going to be doing Irestone Inlet. It is given by Niles Cage here in the harbor. So yes, we're back to the harbor. I know the leveling does take us a little bit everywhere. This quest is fairly straightforward. We just got to go through these. Within this area, there's several camps that'll set up. And we just got to go through each and every one. Nice way to start. Hardened Reaper going right through the door. Alright. So yeah, it's a fairly straightforward quest. I'm just going to summon my hireling here. So throughout the quest there are these little small encampments there. At each encampment there will be a kind of a nest of bugbears. Or sorry, hobgoblins, not bugbears. As well, the important things at each of these little encampments to go to are making sure we talk to these crew members. And of course, grabbing the breakables. Now, not right now, but during the Mimic Festival, this is actually a great quest to run. Now, because there are so many chests out there, so if you're looking for a place to farm Mimic hunt, I will also do a video on how I go through here, because there's a little trick that I use. Alright, so from that first camp there, the path that I take is I head up the hill, and again there are a lot of chests. So that was our first one. We got another one up here. I will skip a lot of these. Nothing in here has named loot. It's all just pretty standard generic loot. Alright, so from there, now we got down here. Now as you see, they do try to... Ooh, they're all champions. Try to sneak in a bunch of hidden wargs and some casters as well, so just watch yourself.
First mate of the Bomb Raider.
Alright, and once he dies, it is imperative that you pick up this little weather-worn parchment on the desk next to his chest here.
Keep him from leaving the inlet.
And the reason being, once you pick up that book, we can now pick up the powder kegs required. So at each of these camps, they also have those powder kegs. And we need a total of 6. I believe it's 6 anyway. Yeah, so it is 6 there. Alright, so I did just get hit with a ray of enfeeblement, so that is something to watch out for here. Is these witch doctors really like casting the ray of enfeeblements as our... I think it's a witch doctor, that or it's the healer ones, but they really like casting the ray of enfeeblement, which, as these powder cakes are actually fairly heavy. If you look, I'm at 408 pounds. Once I click that up, 423, so that's 15 pounds each. So if you don't have a high strength, it does make it fairly difficult to be able to go through and pick up all these barrels, as well as it does slow you down as well.
Scurvy the bugbear bellows.
Alright, so Scurvy here is an optional. He doesn't always spawn. Whenever he does spawn, he is always in this camp here. so as you can see with those guys spawning right there, you do have to be careful coming through this quest, as there are a few spots where enemies will keep respawning. And if you're not prepared, they can definitely flank you and cause some havoc there. Alright. So another thing to point out that with these campments, until you kill all of the enemies in the camp, these chests here, they don't actually unlock. Alright. So, as you see the map when I start, we take a we just kind of hug the right wall and go around the outside edge here. This is the path that I always take. I find it is the most proficient path, and it involves the least amount of doubling back. Alright, so there is another optional that can spawn. He actually spawns right here, and it is a wolf, and it will actually like run around this section of the map. So if you pop in here and you have an optional to kill, honestly I don't even remember the name, but it's a wolf, or it might be a dire wolf. It'll be in this area. Alright, so one thing you can definitely see is ranged is definitely your friend in this quest. It does give you a lot of spots to shoot from afar, which is really, really handy. Alright.
You have found
So,
powder kegs.
the path that I take, as you notice, we do get our last powder keg right there, which will allow us to actually go to the ship right now.
The schooner has been discovered at the end of the inlet. Yar would be stranded without it. This small vessel looks seaworthy. The raft of Yar's flagship must be too
Alright,
deep to
and for
anchor
this
in
part
such
it is
shallow
simple.
water.
We just click on the wooden kegs and it will replace one of the kegs with a powder barrel. And then the last thing you need to do once all 6 are replaced is you just touch the torch.
Yar's schooner has been transformed into a
Now you
floating
will only
bomb.
be able to replace
You hear
one
a
for
bellowing
each
voice
one of the
not
barrels
far
that you've
away.
picked up. So if a
Probably
different party
Yar
members picked up
realizes
some of
he's
those
stuck
barrels,
ashore.
you'll have to have them go and click on those powder kegs on the ship. And yeah, so if you don't escape the ship soon enough, as you can see, it is now just a burning pile of rubble. Now once we do, Yar actually spawns down that little canyon there. However, if we ignore him for now and just run past, we'll continue up and we'll be able to get him on the second loop, as it were.
At a cook pot at the back of the camp, a kobold mixes a pungent brew. Here's the kobold, Scartongue flails.
So Scartongue, though he isn't optional, he is here every time, and he's actually a required optional. We do need to kill him in order to complete the quest. Actually, he's not an optional at all. Sorry about that. But he is an orange named enemy. Alright, so now we're back to this very first camp here that we had cleared, with just 2 crewmates left to go. So from here, rather than coming up this way and heading up the ramp there, we're actually going to make the head south, make a left turn here, and clear these ones. Now, again, there can be an optional that spawns here in this camp. And I also want to point out you can get multiple optionals per run. This one we just so happen to only get the one there. And the last of our breakables. Alright, so from here we're just going to want to head up the hill. Slide down a little bit. Alright, so here is our last captive. I'm just going to quickly summon our hireling here.
8 crewmates from the Banshee.
Now, the reason I go this path here is it actually ends me up on this hill. And because I am a ranged-based character, I can actually look right here, right where those 2 Hobgoblin Slayers are. In the middle is actually Yar right there, who will start attacking and start throwing their spears. Now, because of our distance, they actually can't throw them this far. Oh, I spoke way too soon.
Shrieks furiously.
Alright. So there we are. All we gotta do is sit up here. We can actually shoot all of them from the top. Now I do want to point out that he also comes in with a couple of wargs. So if you hop down, be prepared for all of those enemies. I'm not too sure where the wargs went off to, but he does spawn in just over here where his chest is. So this chest spawns in once you've blown up the ship and Yar spawns in. That's when his chest will spawn, and then they're just gonna slowly walk up until where you saw the guards standing. Once we've done that, we only have one last thing to do, which is head all the way to the west here, and behind some bushes actually we'll find the first mate. So right here behind these bushes, this is actually where you'll find a second shrine, so you can make use of that if you need to while you're running past. And here we are. So,
Howls in triumph.
talk to them and it is over. Alright, well, that was Irestone Inlet, a very simple, very standard quest. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Have a good one all.